Namaste. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining Dharma Yoga. This is a Dharma Yoga practice for about 90 minutes. And please, as always, practice according to your condition. There are some different variations for practitioners who are more advanced. But please be mindful. Please respect. Please go according to your condition and your abilities. And remember, the practice is an offering. And what you put out, what you feel, is what you're putting out there. So be mindful of that so that you deliver the best experience possible. So on that note, let's begin. So come seated and we'll start. Close the eyes. Bring the attention within. Before creation, what existed? A supreme divine essence we call God was always there. And will still be there even beyond the ends of this universe. Attune your mind to that supreme divine essence now. Imagine you are everywhere. We'll begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to you in the light. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's begin with the purification mantra. If you don't know it, just imagine you're singing through the voice of the Guru, or absorb the sounds, you derive all the benefits as though you're chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, do it with conviction, do it volume so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. There are over 350,000 psychic receptors within, so we just try to purify and open them all. Do it 3 times each time, try to do it in a single breath. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Saji. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Saji. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Saji. Now let's do spiritual breathing in order to connect with the divine within. Bring the arms up, the palms slightly turned up. From the fingertips down to the arms, inhale the best of the best down into the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Storing all in the heart, in the spiritual heart. Hold the breath, hold the attention there. Exhale out through the arms, just the breath leaves back out. Everything they pulled in stays within. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Feel you as though you're being flooded with the best of the best, coming down through the arms into the spiritual heart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold in the spiritual heart and the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. Exhale out again through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale down through the arms into the spiritual heart. 3, 4. Attract everything with your attention to the spiritual heart. 6, 7, 8. Holding all in the heart, hold the breath there, make an offering to the divine within. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Purifier pranayama. Again, this is done to purify the nadis. Imagine bring all the purifying effects right up through the spine to the crown. On the exhale, expel all the impurities out. The technique is 4 counts for the inhale, 12 for the breath retention, 8 for the exhale. For the breath retention, engage the root lock, which means you contract the muscles of the pelvic floor. Imagine you're lifting it all the way up towards the navel and pushing it up and in towards the back wall of the body. And for the throat lock, as you inhale, you want to lift the chest as much as possible, expand the lungs, so that when you bring your chin down, your back still stays straight, doesn't hunch. So you have to keep the passage for the breath nice and straight. The tongue to move mouth behind the teeth, and the tensions at the space between the eyebrows. For the exhale on the 8, you just empty out, synchronize it so that you're completely empty by the 8th count. Left hand in Dhyana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, the mudra consciousness on the left knee. Right hand, second and third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the palm towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra. The thumb for the right nostril, the right ring finger for the left. So 4, 12, 8. We'll do it together 5 times. Breathe out completely, sit up tall. Inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4. Hold the breath, plug both sides of the nose. 2, 3, 4. Tension at the space between the eyebrows, throat lock, root lock. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4. Release the locks, remember. 6, 7, 8. Inhale through both nostrils again. 3, 4. Fill up as much as you can. Hold the breath. Everything stops. All the attention of the space between your eyebrows. 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3. Gradually 4, 5. Evenly 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 3, 4. Keep the back straight, remember. Third eye attention. Hold the breath. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Hold the breath. All the attention of the space between your eyebrows. Exhale out to the left side. Last time. Inhale. Fill up. Raise the chest. Hold the breath. Mentally count 12 in your head, evenly and steadily. Exhale out for 8 counts. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the right hand down. Take a moment to notice any changes in the state of the body, the mind, and the emotions. Have no expectation, have no attachment to the results. So now, let's just do square breathing. This helps to improve concentration. So just try to visualize tracing a box of a square with your breath. Inhale, you come up the one side to the top. Hold the breath across the top. Exhale back down the other side. And the lungs are empty as you return to the origin. So your lungs are full at the top and you're completely empty at the bottom. Okay, so I'll count it out. Both hands in Yana Mudra. And just keep on visualizing the outline of the box being traced. If you lose your attention, be unconcerned, be unjudging, just return your mind back to that visualization. So breathe out completely, starting at the bottom corner, inhale up to the top corner. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold the breath across the top to the other corner. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale back down the other side evenly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lungs are empty as you return to the other origin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up again, inhale. Fill up. Hold across the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale back down the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold your breath out across the bottom. Lungs are empty. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale up. 4, inflate evenly, raise the chest. 7, 8, hold across the top, the chest is full, the lungs are expanded. Exhale back down to the bottom, slowly deflate the chest and then the belly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Across the bottom, hold the breath out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue. Inhale up. Hold across the top, lungs full, chest high. Exhale back down the other side. You can imagine a little light going down the edge of the box. Hold the breath across the bottom. Breath out. Inhale up to the top corner again. Hold across the top. Exhale back down the other side, slowly and evenly. Across the bottom edge, lungs empty. One more time, inhale up to the top. Fill up the lungs. Hold across the top, the lungs full, the chest high. Exhale back down to the bottom edge, bottom corner. And you feel the eyes moving as you follow the trace of the box. Hold the breath out across the bottom. Conclude. Now just take a moment here to prepare for the practice by remembering that God is present in all the forms. Try to see the divine essence within all beings. God manifests in this physical universe through the forms. So revere them all, love them all. And imagine that each form that is your teacher. Show your enthusiasm towards your teacher by showing your reverence, by copying them to the best extent possible, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So now let's come up to standing. Let's continue. We're going to start off with some warm-ups. So stand your feet about 10 inches apart. Swing from one side to the other. The arms feeling as though they're like heavy ropes hitting the body. See all the way around you. And then start to move faster. The arms will feel as though they were dead. Now the head is flying all the directions. Shake it out. And slow it down. Bring your hands back onto the hips. Head circles. Roll head all the way around. If you are able to, you can move a little bit faster to generate a little bit of heat, especially in this cold weather, if it's cold where you are, being winter. And then go the other way. If you need to modify, you can just do semicircles. But try to get the ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back, if you're doing a full rotation. Good. And now, the right arm. Throw it back and just continue to wind up like you're throwing a ball, preparing to throw a ball. Circle in the other direction. Form a fist to create a little bit of tension, especially in any shoulder issues. You can turn the body with the arm as well. And then the other arm, left arm. Throw it back and start to wind up. Feel as though you're holding weight in your hand. Go the other direction now. 5 pounds. Good. And now bring your arms up over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbow. Squeeze the arms against the ears. Pulse to your left about 3 times. Go to the other side. Try not to make wrinkles in the waist. Go to the left again. Go to the right. Push the hips and ribs out towards the left. Back to the left. And go to the right. Come back to the center. Little circles over the head. Starting off with small circles, head, neck, and shoulders mostly moving. And then, as you feel warmer, you can start to add the chest and the upper back into the movement. If you feel like you can even do the full trunk rotation. Allow the momentum of the downswing to carry you through the circles smoothly. And then coming all the way back up and go the other direction, starting again small. Again, move according to your condition. Starting to make the circles larger. Imagine all beings feeling this, experiencing this through your body. And then if you like, the whole trunk rotates. Make like a windmill. Large circles being traced in front of your body. And coming all the way back up and release the arms. Shake out the wrists with fingers very, very rapidly, like you're trying to shake water off your hands to dry them. And going up and down very, very fast again, like the wings of a hummingbird. So fast that like a bird can't even see them moving. Arms out to the side. Swing the right leg back and forth. Try to get your knee to the shoulder. If you need to, you can bring your left hand on a wall. Imagine trying to kick yourself in the head from behind with your toes. And then the other leg. Feels as though the leg like a big pendulum swinging out of control. And then release. Bring your feet back together. And then the arms by the sides of the body. Inhale, start to raise the arms up. 2, 3, lift up off the heels. Bring the palms together over the head. Exhale, 2, 3, and push down slowly, 2, 3. Inhale, feel the arms floating up by themselves. Lift up off the heels, push into the roots of your toes, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Coming up again, feel, witness, watching the body moving all by itself. Rise up, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. One more time, graceful movements. Inhale, 3. Rise up, push into your toes, engage your legs and the core. Exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Chin back down into the chest, and a gesture of humbleness. Stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits. Dedicate this to God or to whoever you believe in, that eternal force that surrounds us and is in all beings. Good. So now let's come to the front of the mat. Hands to the heart. Sun salutation, Surya Namaskar, and some variations. Imagine we're all together physically, moving like a school of fish. To stay in the collective mind, raise your arms up over the head, arch back, fold the body down. Bend your knees if you need to, bring your hands flat on the ground, the chest on the thighs. Right foot back, lower down the knee, push the seat all the way forward towards the front heel. Then come into the high plank, lower the knees down, the seat goes all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, brush the nose, the ground to come forward. Pick up the chest, bring head all the way back. Again, bring the seats all the way back behind the heels, glide forward. Pull with the arms as if you're trying to drag the floor towards you. Rise up. Come back again. Glide forward like a snake creeping through the grass. Imagine how that boundless range of motion. Pull the shoulders back, open up the heart in every way. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat. Allow the head to drop below the arms. If you can strike the forehead to the ground. The right foot steps forward. If that's difficult, you can lower the back knee down. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, use the right hand to assist the foot forward. Push the seat all the way forward again. And the feet together, Uttanasana, chest and the thighs, head down. Come all the way up to standing. Come back home, hands to the heart. Don't worry about the breath. Breathe naturally. Move the body, the breath will follow and deliver more power and ease and grace. Pull the body down onto the legs. Left foot back into the plank. Lower down the knees, the seat all the way back. Come forward again. Remember, blessed are those who can imitate the teacher physically. Push the chest forward, uncoil like a serpent. Take the seat all the way back again. Glide forward. Twice blessed are those who can imitate the teacher physically and mentally. Be regal and wise like the serpent. Take the seat again one more time. 3 times blessed are those who can imitate the teacher physically, mentally, and spiritually. Tap into all the divine virtues of that which you're representing. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Melt the heart. Lift the seat. Take the left foot forward to the hands. Step it quietly forward. Feet together. Remember, the practice isn't awesome, so make it as beautiful as possible. The inner guru within is always watching. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Stretch the whole front of the body. Fold the body down in half. A gesture of humbleness. Right foot back, Anjalyasana, knee down, seat all the way forward. Into plank, knees, chest, forehead down, chest between the hands, and come right through. This time, pick up your hips and knees away from the ground. Lift the legs up, upward facing dog. Bend the toes under, pulse a little bit. Try to get your shoulders back. The head high, look like a dog howling at the moon. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana next. Balance, try to get your chest closer to the ground. Sink the heart right down towards the ground, the belly towards the thighs. Look like a dog stretching its back. The right foot steps forward to the hands again. Seats all the way forward towards the front heel. Feet together, Uttanasana. Belly and the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Try to tap into the consciousness of each movement. Open yourself up to divine grace. Then bowing down into in humility. Left foot back. Into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskar. Knees, chest, forehead down. Elbows close to the body. Swing right forward into upward facing dog. Lift the hips and knees away from the ground again. And the toes under. Pulse. Try not to create a big fold across the lower back or the back of the neck. Telescope your body out of the hips and neck out of the shoulders. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try to embody the loyalty of the dog to his master. See the form clearly in your mind and try to allow your body to realize it to the best extent you can. Now the left foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up over the head. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Watch your body move with even more power, grace, and ease. Right foot back. Into plank. You can do Ashtanga Namaskar if you're stronger. You can bring the seat all the way back. Try not to bring the knees and hips to the ground as you come into upward facing dog. Push elbows into sides of body. Push the roots of your toes and heels your palms. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward to the hands. And then feet together. Bow down again. Uttanasana. Come all the way up. Standing salute. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Move with power, but with the utmost grace. Left foot back. Into the plank. You have to see yourself moving in the practice that you're trying to achieve. And then you might realize your movements. Upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Doesn't matter where you're at, just do your best. Left foot forward. Feet together. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head, and then come back home to the heart. Raise your arms up, introducing the variation now. Bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. Join your hands behind the back and push the feet all the way up as the head plunges down towards the feet. The right foot back, without touching your hands to the ground, right into Kapyasana. You can keep the toes bent under. Stretch your arms all the way back behind the head. And then bring the hands down. Step back into high plank, again, Ashtanga Namaskara, or bring the knees all the way back, and then swing right into upward facing dog, no legs on the ground. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. This time, raise your right leg up, Ekapada, 3-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, into Kapyasana again. Pull your arms all the way back behind your ears if you can. Stretch, open up the chest. Coming forward, belly on your thighs, swing your hands back without touching your fingers to the ground if possible. Into Uttanasana. Hands come over your shoulders, right off your back. Right up. Hasta Uttanasana. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Come forward. Chest on the thighs. Try to straighten your legs if you have the flexibility. Seat directly over the heels, your hands over your shoulders. The left foot back. Bring the knee down, right into Kapyasana. Lean away from the leg. And then bring the hands back down. Back into high plank. Again, your entrance of your choice into upward facing dog. Do according to your abilities. Going to your edge of your potential each and every time. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. If you never tried any things in 20 years, as Dharmaji says, you'll still be in the same practice today. Arch back. And then belly on your thighs, swing your hands all the way back. Right foot joins the left. Uttanasana. Bow down. So in humbleness. Come right up to standing. Reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Always come back to the source of divine love. Reach the arms up. Chest under thighs. Go down. Push the seat all the way up. If you can, legs straight. Body pressing against the thighs. The head down. Right foot back. Lower down the knee. Come right up. Try to connect the movement seamlessly like you're doing a divine dance of love and devotion. Hands back down into high plank. Upward facing dog. Smoothly back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. The right leg up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Again, Kapyasana. Pull the shoulders back. And then swing your arms behind your back. They're touching your fingers to the ground. Left foot comes in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right to standing. And back home, hands to heart. Again, raise your arms up. Stretch. Bend your knees. The more you practice, the more tricks you learn to move into the poses with ease, with steadiness. Left foot back, right up into Kapyasana. And then right back down into high plank. The seat all the way back. Swing right through or modify as you need to into upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Wherever you are is perfect if you just try your best. Left leg up. Remember, it's the effort that's most important, not the results. Left foot between the hands, back knee down, into Kapyasana. And then right down again, belly on your thighs, hands behind the back and right over your shoulders. Bow down. Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up over the head, arch back. Come back home. Take pause here for a moment. From the solar plexus, your source of inner power. Inhale up, all the power to the crown. Hold the breath there. Imagine that power going out to all beings to empower all beings, especially those who need it. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your own source. Keep on sending out to all beings. Hands back down. So let's continue. We'll do some balance poses now. Starting off with tree, standing on your left foot, anchor down through the foot, spread the toes. Bring the right foot up. You can either bring your foot on the thigh or on the inside of the calf, not against the knee, just below or above. If you have a lotus, you can bring your knee up higher. Try to get the outer edge of the foot right at the top of the left leg, and then point the knee down. You can either hold your foot with your left hand, and your right hand comes behind the back, holding the elbow if you can, lean forward. You can guide the right hand to the foot, hold it from behind. If you're in this pose, you can bring your left hand in Jnana Mudra. If you're in a regular tree, you can bring the arms up. Now be stately and tall like a tree. Imagine you're absorbing the light and the warmth of the sun. The light and the warmth representative of the love and the wisdom of the highest self of God. Now from here, we're going to go into another pose. Bring the right foot up off the leg. Bring the knee as high as you can. Garudasana. Turn to your left a little bit. Point the toes. You might be able to put the foot around the left leg. If not, just let it hang there. And then the left arm over the right. Intertwine the forms, press them together. Bring the elbows in front of the shoulders and sink down. Try to keep yourself from leaning forward too much. Look like an eagle just contemplating where to fly next. Good. Now from here, release the leg. One more if you can. Bend your left knee. Try to bring your belly on your thigh. Sweep arms out to the side. Imagine now you're that eagle taking flight. Try to get the right leg up higher. Point the toes. If you can, arch the back a little bit. At any point, you can bring the fingertips on the ground if you lose your balance. Remain unconcerned, unjudging, unbothered. And then bring your right foot back up beside the other one. Try it on your side. Just take a moment, just imagine the whole scene playing out with complete smoothness, control. If it doesn't happen that way, again, remain unjudging, be undisturbed. Bring the left foot up now. Bring it wherever you feel is fit, in your tree or your lotus tree. Hands to the heart. Come all the way up. Again, if you want to take the lotus, go ahead. Take the foot, bring the, keep the knee level as you're taking your left arm behind the back and holding the foot, and then you can point the knee down. You can use your right hand as well to guide the hand to the foot. The right hand to Yana Mudra in front of the heart. Keep your gaze steady. Remember, this is always an option. Or even have your toes on the ground if you're having trouble balancing. You can always find something that works for you. Now from here, again, ready to go to the next pose, eagle. Bring the left knee up as high as you can so that when it comes across the other leg, it's very high. It makes it easier to take the bind, maybe. So turn to your right a little, point the toes. You might be able to, the toes might find their way around the back of the leg and wrap. Then wrap the arms, so right arm over the left this time. Try to push the elbows in front of the chest and lower down. Concentrate on steadiness. Fix your gaze on a point. Have that intense gaze at the eagle. And then press into right foot, hold the breath, come out of the pose. Into gliding eagle. Bend your right knee. See if you can get your belly on your thigh and sweep your arms out to the side like the magnificent wings of a bird. That great bird. And left leg comes up higher, arms come out. It takes a little while maybe to try to transition to the poses with grace, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. Remain in the same temperament. Unchanging. Steady. And then bring your left foot back beside your other one. Okay, so we'll try another one. Move to the back end of the mat. Step your left foot forward. If you need a block, you can use a block. Bend down, bring the left hand down. If you're using your hand, the hand is about 14 or 16 inches in front of the foot. You stay at the fingertips. If not, if you need a block, you place a block in the same place in front of the foot. Open up to the right and bring the right arm up. If you can gaze up to the hand above you. Now if you like, you can bend your left knee, bend the right knee, bring it right in close to your seat so you can take the foot at the ankle and push the foot all the way up and back again. You can even do this on your knee. You can lower down on your left knee if you find that you're hunching too much, you can't find your balance. And then look forward. If you want to keep going further, make sure the hip is over the heel in the same line. Maybe you can take your left hand to your heart. Maybe you can take your foot to the hand, bring your foot in close to the seat. Take the foot and again push it away from your seat, away from your head. If you want to even come standing all the way up, you can. Press into your foot, bring your shoulders up. Try to get your toes at the height of the head. Break the pose. Bring the right foot down. Try it on the other side now. Step the right foot forward. Bring the right hand down. Again, you can come down onto your knee. You can do this whole sequence on your knee just like this and take the foot. So do again according to your abilities. If you have a hand down or on a block, come into position now. Left leg comes up, left arm eventually comes up as well. And turn your gaze up towards the hand above you. Try to open up the hip. If your hand's too close, you'll be hard to open up your hip all the way. You might have trouble balancing as well. So make sure you give yourself lots of distance for the underside of the body to lengthen. Now here, if you want, bend your right knee to sink more weight into your right foot. Take the foot walk close to your seat and push the foot away from the body. You have to pull with your leg. You want to go further, look front. And then from here, hold your breath. Take your hand to the heart. Or just have it above the ground. Or take your hand to the foot. And push the foot again up, away from your body. And if you want, you can press into the right foot. Try to straighten up. Oops. Let me try that again. Come all the way back up. Push through the foot. Engage your muscles below and above the knee. And then break the pose. Pull heel in and release. So let's stand in the middle of the mat now. Fingers in line with the elbows, the height of the shoulders. Jump or walk your feet apart, look to your left and bend into your left knee. If you're flexible, try to get lower, work your hips a little bit. So you're coming forward with a sense of purpose and determination, like the warrior. Look over the front hand, enter the consciousness of that mighty warrior. Right hand up over the head, Virabhadrasana 1. Look up, allow the head to fall back. The expression of utmost surrender to divine service. You can't turn the hip all the way, you can lift the back heel up. If you need to lower down on the knee, that's always an option as well. Now back into Warrior 2. Join the hands behind the back, pull the hands back and down, lift the chest, bring the head back. Humble warrior. So you have to make sure the right foot is flat on the ground, the outside edge. Move to the right a little bit. You might need to push the seat back a little bit, but try not to lift the seat too much. Try to keep it the same height as the knee. And then your head might find your way all the way down to the foot. Humble warrior, expression of surrender here, humbleness. If you need to, you can lower the right knee down as well. Try to, moving to the bottom, to the right so that your shoulder comes to the inside of the knee and just slides all the way down. Now inhale, come back up. You can do Sukha Trikonasana from here. Left hand on the inside the foot, the right arm up. You can do it from here. Or if your knee is still up, you can move your left hand back a little bit behind the heel. Trikonasana. If you have other variations like a bind, go ahead. You might need to bend your left knee a little bit, bring your left shoulder down, so you can wrap your left arm underneath the leg more easily, and then take your hands just beside your seat, not over the seat. The side against the back, the left thigh, the head down. Right leg straight, push the right hip up. Now from here, looking forward, turn on the back foot so you're up off the heel. The right arm up, Parivita Parshakanasana, bring your arms to the outside of the left leg. The armpit sits on the outside of the knee, left hand pushes into your right. So you don't stop here with your hands at the shoulder. You push down so that the belly comes higher than the thigh. Side of the chest comes to your thumbs and roll the left shoulder all the way back. Modification, bring the right knee down. Make sure your legs are like a box. Your front leg at a right angle. Okay. If you know how to do a bind, of course, you can go ahead, push the seat back. You can use the left hand to guide the right arm underneath. Left arm goes over the back then, and then pull, join the hands together. Try to turn your face and chest all the way up. Okay, lift the back knee up off the ground if you have to bring your knee down during a bind. Use your own tricks to find your way into the poses with steadiness. Then from here, looking forward, bring your hands down on the inside of your left foot. Bring the knee up off the ground and push back and forth a few times. Try to get the right heel to go back and try to get your hips to sink. Push one more time for the back heel and lower the knee down. If your hips are low enough, fall to the right. So you can get your right forearm down to the ground, then roll back to your left. See if you can get both sides of the hips down evenly. If your hips are anchored down, the rest of the body might follow more easily. The belly, the chest, the chin eventually come down. If your chest is down, your shoulders on the right foot, the left foot, sorry. Other variations, of course, advanced practitioners go ahead. If your hip is very high up off the ground, you just stay on your hands. Imagine you're doing a cobra. Imagine your hips are very heavy and try to get your hips anchored down and keep moving your chest forward. Make sure your knees staying close to the shoulder, not popping away or the foot not sliding away. Keep your knee and the heel on the same, foot in the same line. Then, wherever you are, just merge as a form. Pretend you're a lizard, just sunning itself on the warm earth. Now coming back onto the hands, keep your seat where it is, very low. Kapiyasana. Bring your arms up, join hands together if you can. Pull your arms back behind the ears. Push the shoulders back. Drop your shoulders down so the neck stays long. No crunching the lower back or the back of the neck. Pull the body out of the hips. Imagine your index fingers going over the back toe. This is monkey pose. So imagine a monkey that swings from tree to tree with seemingly no bones in their arms. Try to get that same openness. Other variations, you can go ahead. If you have the flexibility, you can bring the right foot up, bend at the knee, and maybe even take the foot. If you know this one, you're welcome to try it. Even if you need your hands on the ground, you can take your thumb to the back of the knee, pushing the back knee, the hands, fingers wrap around the knee, and you can guide the foot more easily to the head. Now break the pose. Bring your hands back down, lift the back knee, and turn back to the long edge of the mat. All the way up. Go to the right, turn the right foot forward. If you need to, turn all the way around. Come forward again like that determined, strong warrior. Always ready to serve the people. Make sure arms are level. Left arm up to meet the right. Virabhadrasana. All the poses done with intention. Become the warrior. The qualities are already within. You just have to turn them on. Back to warrior 2. Join hands behind the back. Pull hands down. Lift the chest, bring the head back. If you feel comfortable now, dive down. Again, push the left hip back a little bit so that left foot flattens. Go to your left and see if you can slide to the inside of the leg, the shoulder, the head coming down beside the foot. If you need to, you can lower the left knee down. Lengthen from the base spine all the way to the crown. Embody the humbleness of the warrior. Now from here, come up halfway, triangle. Push the left hip back again. If your knee is up off the ground, slide the right hand back a few inches behind the heel, maybe about 3 or 4, stay on the fingertips. Trikonasana. You want to take a bind, left arm goes behind the back, even half bind. Bring a hand on the thigh, or bend your right knee a little bit. Circle the right shoulder comes underneath the knee, the line of the knee, and then circle the right arm underneath the leg. Join your hands beside your right hip, beside the seat, and push the left leg back. You might need to bring your leg in a little bit. If you're doing it on your knee, still perfect. Left arm up, your legs like a box, and you can take a bind from here as well. Go step by step. With practice, you'll be able to come into the postures, but remember the postures are meaningless if are not as meaningful unless you offer them up. Good. Now from here, returning, coming up, going to your right now, left arm up. Going to the outside knee. You can start your knee down if you like, the left arm sitting on the outside of the right knee. Push the right hand into your left. So, don't stay here. with my body trap behind the leg. I push the right hand into your left. Even if you do a fist, that sometimes helps to get the body up higher as you push. Center of the chest comes here towards your thumbs, and roll the right shoulder all the way back. Try to get your right shoulder over the left in the same line, or maybe even further. You want to take the bind, left hand assists the right arm underneath, right arm then goes over the back. Take the bind, push the seat back so you give yourself more room underneath the leg. And then perhaps you can bring the left knee up off the ground if it wasn't already. Push the right shoulder back. Go to the edge of your potential each and every time to keep redefining that edge so you can see your progress and remain enthusiastic in your practice. Now break the pose, bring the hands back down on the inside of the left with the right foot. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. And then again, push back and forth off the heel. So you see, the hips are sinking down with each pass. Push back to the left heel one more time, lower the knee. Flatten out the toes, fall to your left so you can get on your left forearm. And then roll back to the right so both sides of the hips are equally anchored down. Bring your chest forward as much as you can. Telescope the body out of the hips. And keep on trying to imagine your hips are made of lead or attracted to the earth by a strong magnet. The hips are down, the rest of the body will eventually follow. The belly, the pelvis, the belly, and then the chest. Try to imagine that form at ease, and you too might find ease. Become one with the forms. Now come back onto hands, keep your seat low. You're in a good position to do Kapiyasana right from here. Hands together, Kali Mudra. Rock your shoulders back and forth. Lift the chest, telescope your body out of the hips, pull your body up out of the hips so you don't crunch your lower back. Lean away from the legs, stay long in the back body. So you think of your spine as a hose. If you fold the hose sharply, you cut off the water flow. You want to cut off the energy flow. Again, you can do other variations if you like. Keep your seat forward if you're trying to take the foot up. And keep one hand on the ground as you take the foot, and then once you find a balance of the breath, take the other hand to the foot. Or keep both hands on the floor. If your seat's all the way forward, you'll be able to get the fingertips down more easily. Push into the back knee with your thumb, and just use your other fingers to guide. Wrap around the outside of the knee to guide the foot to the head. Eventually, you might be able to take your arms up. Chain pose. I'll break the pose. Coming back down with your left foot, it goes up. Bring your right foot back to meet the left. Sit between or on the heels and lean back. This is soften your knees. Depending on your knees, you might have to stay a little bit higher. Tilt the hips forward. And then if you have the flexibility, you can separate your heels. You can sit between the heels. Maybe you can come down on the forearms. If you can, go all the way down onto your back. Bring your thighs together. You can take hold of your elbows over the head. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, just allow the body to sink down. Feel as though the whole back body will just falling into the ground. Roll the thighs towards another. Lengthen the thighs. Push the knees all the way forward. Pull the elbows all the way up, as far away from the knees as possible. And then come back. Press your hands if you're on the floor. Push into the heels with your hands. Dig into the elbows. Lift your upper back up off the mat. Tuck the chin in. And make your way all the way back up. Bring your hands down, in front, into plank, side plank, Vasisthasana. Move your left hand more to the right. Turn to the right. Just to spin on your feet. Turn on your feet so your ankles stay crossed. If it's too much, if you find you're dropping into your shoulder, your hips are sagging, best to lower the left knee down underneath the hip. So don't stay here. It's hard on the shoulder, and then it's going to feel very heavy very fast. Otherwise, you can see if you can lift the right leg up, or stack your right foot on top of the left. Arms in the same line, hand to hand. Come back down. Go to the other side. Back to plank first, of course. Then the right hand goes to your left. You can keep your ankles crossed and stay here. You can lower down on the knee. Stack the feet. Again, according to your abilities. Come back to high plank. Lower the knees down. Good. So next version. You will do it again, and you can go a little bit further if you feel the ability to do so. If you want to stay in your knee, you can still do it to a certain extent. Push your hips all the way forward, slide your right toes back, and concentrate on your hips as much as high as possible, lifting up, facing up. If you can do it from your full side plank, slide the right toes back alongside the left knee, and you have to turn the left foot as well. So the inside edge of the foot is down. Push your hips all the way forward and up. Imagine trying to get your hip over the foot almost. And then you'll have the possibility to maybe take your foot up off the ground. Anchor the inside edge foot down. You might be able to take your knee and catch it. Those who are more flexible can take the foot. Go ahead. On your left hand and left foot first. Remember, raise your hip up all the way. It's like you're doing an Urdhva Dhanurasana. And of course, that's always an option too. You can keep spinning on your hands. Slide your left foot beside the right. If you want to do Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can go into that as well. Now coming back, spin on your hands, spin on the foot. Keep your hip up. Your left arm stays fully extended back into high plank. Go on the other side. I personally like to go into downward facing dog before I turn. So the hips are already high. With the right hand to your left, come into your side plank, and then keep going. Slide your left toes back. Turn on the right foot. The foot should be no more than 30 to 45 degrees. Push your hip all the way forward and up. Try not to bend your right leg too much. This will, again, get the body to sink, and then it'll be harder to take hold of the knee. So maybe just practice getting your foot up off the ground. Take hold of the knee if you can catch it, or the foot. Push the inside edge of the foot down so you don't fall out of balance. Remain steady. Break the pose. Spin on the right hand. Come back to high plank. Lower down the knees. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, fatigue. Coming back up now. Shilshasana, king of the postures. If you know how to get into Shilshasana, then go ahead. You don't have to wait. Go into whatever version you can that brings that where you can find steadiness, and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Focus on the space between your eyebrows. If you have a lotus, come into lotus. That makes your mind more one-pointed. Otherwise, if you need some assistance, here are some other options. If you're very if you're feeling uncomfortable and can't bring your feet up off the ground, just bring your forehead in front of your knees. Lift your seat up. Try to get your hips over the knees. Your upper back, your chest pushing into the upper back between the shoulder blades. Your belly button pushing to the lower back. If it's too much pressure, just bring your head forward so you feel more pressure on the back of the neck when you're doing this, when your head is closer to the knees. If you feel comfortable, you can place your fingertips down, palms facing towards you, fingers equally distant. Lift your seat up, and then from here you can walk your feet closer to your fingers. Try to get your hips over your shoulders. You can bring your knees just underneath these against your elbows. You can stay there, or you can even bend your toes back away from the ground. You can do this with flat hands too, but your fingertips have lots of strength, 10 points of pressure. And then you can try to come into this pose here. Eventually, you'll be able to bring your feet all the way up towards your seat. Okay, if you want. to go even further. Take your hands further apart, but still in front, not beside your head, in front where you can see them. And imagine doing a downward facing dog. Okay, your feet are closer to the hands. Bring them between your hands and bring one leg back. Allow the foot that's behind you to hang close to your seat behind you. Flex your toes. Flex your foot and you bend your toes back. And see if you can pulse up and down, up, off. The right foot to start. This is a start. As you push your left, your hips come over your shoulders. You come more on the top of the head. If you're comfortable, eventually you can pull your toes away from the ground. And eventually you can even keep pushing through the back foot. Do this progressively. Don't jump. You'll land right on your back. So do this with mindfulness. If you're pushing through the back foot, eventually your feet will come at the same height at the hips. This is a nice one to do because you have lots of steadiness with your hands and your head forming a very wide base. And if your back tends to hunch, this allows and you don't have a lot of hip flexibility, you'll be able to get your leg up higher with this pose. Good. The more advanced, you can eventually come up all but one finger. Almost all the weight on the head. Eventually you're on the fingernail. Hardly any weight on the hands at all. Wherever you are, slowly make your way down, back into child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out, soften. Good, and come back up. So show another variation for those who are more advanced. You can try doing one hand. All others, if you're more beginning, you stay at one of these postures. Okay, I'll also introduce where you can do it on your forearms. This is a nice one because you distribute more weight between your head and your arms and you don't feel as much pressure on the head. So make sure you're against the wall. Okay, so place your seat against the wall as close as possible, your feet against the wall or the base of the chair, your elbows underneath your shoulders. Make sure you can take hold of outside your elbows easily. Then don't move your elbows, move your hands forward. Interlace your fingers and place your head between your palms. Your hands are forming a helmet for the head. Bring one foot on the wall about the height of the hip or on the base of the chair. Seat of the chair, bring the other leg back behind you. And then see if you can balance here. Maybe pull the toes away from the wall. Now those of you who want to try the one arm, flatten out, let's say the left hand, push the side of the head into your left hand against the wrist. Make sure your left foot is hanging back, or the right foot, doesn't matter really. And the other hand, slip it out in front like tripod. So you can take off one finger at a time until you're just on one finger. You have to keep pushing through the foot that's behind you. Flex your toes, hold your breath, press the head against the hand, and so you can take your hand up even if you just pull the foot out, the finger away from the ground for a moment. Okay? Alright, so you can practice that if you like. Make sure that your elbows are not too wide apart if you're doing just on both arms. Your wrists should be able to hug the head. If your elbows are too out to the side, it's like a chair trying to balance on its legs in one line. It ain't going to work. Okay. Flex your toes. You have lots of power in the toes. It keeps the muscles engaged. I just realized I'm probably better with you the camera. So sorry about that. All right. 30 more seconds perhaps. So I'm in the middle of the mat now. Press the wrist against the side of the head. Push into the arm, hold the breath, keep pushing to the back foot, and see if you can lift the finger up off the mat. Flex your toes. You have to keep pushing to the back foot. Whenever you feel yourself falling forward, push to the back foot. That you can take hold of the foot as well. You have to keep pushing the foot back towards the ground behind you. All right, now make your way down softly with control if you can. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. And then roll your way up. Bring your legs in front. Shavasana. Move to the front of the mat. We're just going to roll back. You might need a few rolls if you're beginning, if you're not sure of the pose. Get a little momentum. Bring your feet over your head. Eventually try to bring your hands to your seat at the same time as your legs are coming up. And then eventually push into your back. Your feet will come behind your head more. If they land on the ground, perfect. If they don't, still perfect. Now you can stay here if you want. Keep your hands on the back, especially if your feet are not on the ground. If you want to go into Shavasana, bring your hands together on the ground, join your wrists together, pull your arms back behind your body all the way so you can't see them from in front. Bring your hands onto your back now, and try to get them as high as possible so your heels, your palms are closer to the neck. And then bring one leg up, followed by the other. Try to get your leg up all the way to the ceiling, or toward the ceiling. Your other leg follows. And try to have a straight line from the toes all the way down to the chin. If your elbows are not completely behind your back, your shoulder limitations or hip limitations, you can just stay with your legs angled. Do again according to your abilities. If it's too much, you can do bridge pose. Bring your feet close to your seat, push your seat up, tuck your shoulders under, and just try to lift your chest up. You can have a block underneath your seat depending on your abilities. So this is still has the same shape as shoulders. If you have a lotus, you may go into your lotus. Use your hands if you need to help. And try to get your knees higher than your hips. If you're in lotus, push your knees up with your hands, or push into your back. Try to get your knees higher than the hips so it doesn't look like plow. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Concentrate all your attention there. Make the mind one-pointed again. Concentration takes as much, if not more, practice than the postures themselves. Whenever the mind starts to wander, just keep pulling back, just like you're trying to gently discipline a pet or a child. Eventually the mind will settle into silence more easily. From here, if you have a lotus, you do Pintasana, bring your thighs against your body. If you know the full embryo pose, you can wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath the seat. If you don't have a lotus, come back to plow. Come down softly, no big crash landing to the feet on the ground. Control it. Your feet coming down, you can bring your hands on the ground. Interlacing your fingers, or keep your hands on the back of your feet are not up and on the ground. You can also bring your thighs against your belly against your belly, and your knees on the other side of the head. Withdraw from your senses now. Go within, beyond body and mind and emotions. Listen carefully. We're going to go into boat pose from here. Bring your hands behind the back on the ground, palms down, hands come close together, and then start to drag your legs back down. Keep them close to the body as you roll back down. Eventually, as your seat comes lower down, you bring your hands closer together, and eventually your seat lands on your wrists. Keep bringing legs down into about 45 degrees. Then push into the arms once your legs are there and lift your back up off the ground. Okay, and then from here, you can either stay there. If you know flying fish, you can take your hands out from underneath and take your hands in front of your legs. And from here, breathe very fast through your nose. Come on your knees as well if you need to. Hold your knees. Now from here, place your hands down. Bring your elbows in. Slide them underneath your seats if you can. If you need to, bring your legs down. Push your chest up. The top of the head down. So, ideally the legs are straight in this one. And then again, breathe very fast, almost like a sniffing dog. Top head on the ground, chest high. Lower the legs down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Now bring your arms up over the head. Stretch the body and come to seated position. If you need to roll onto your side, that's all good too. Okay, so now Kurmasana, tortoise pose. To prepare, you bring your legs out about the width of the mat, the feet on the outside edge of the mat. And then from here, slide your arms underneath. Try to take hold of the outer edges of the feet close to your heels and push the elbows out beyond the legs. Try to get your belly down between your legs. So the idea is to try to get your shoulders lower than the knees, your head moving forward, your tension at the base of the spine. If you're very flexible, you already know the pose, you don't have to wait. Your shoulders are lower than the knees, you can bring arms back behind you, palms down, and just allow the legs to just slide forward, your feet to slide forward, your legs come onto the arms, close to the shoulders, not on the elbows. Try to flatten out your body. Slow down the breath like a tortoise. A tortoise has very slow, steady breaths. That's why it lives so long. Everyone has a finite amount of breaths according to your conditions. So assuming nothing else happens, you try to make those breaths longer so that your life is longer. You prolong your life. Those you have your elbows free and you're in a full pose, you can also bind your hands over your back. Now, break the pose. Coming back out, bend your knees. If you can, bring your legs over the arms, close to the shoulders. Hang your feet over the arms. You have to push into the backs of the legs, into the backs of the legs, close to the knees with the backs of your arms, and squeeze the backs of the calves, the backs of the legs, lower legs against your arms. Your hands in front of your seat. Tilt forward, roll forward, bring more weight into the base of the fingers, the finger pads. You might be able to lift your seat right off the ground, come into Titivasana from here. If it's too much, you can start in a squat and bring your arms in behind your legs, shoulders behind your knees. Land your seat down, not too low. Keep your head with height of the seat, walk your feet forward, and then push your feet up. If it's too much, you can even bring your toes together, press one foot in the other. Sometimes it's easier. Arm squeezing pose. You have the, your arms and your legs are squeezing together and make yourself compact to come up more easily. If this is too much, do crow pose. Push your arms into the insides of the legs, place your hands down, lift your heels, and allow your legs to just rest on your arms. Bring your head forward, flex your toes, bend your toes away from the ground. If you need still more modification, just keep your heels down, your toes down, lift your heels, press into your hands, and try to straighten your arms. So, whichever one you're doing, just explore. Wherever you are, just make it an offering. And back down. All right, now from here, let's do one more Karmasana. Actually, let's come into squatting pose first. And then from here, lift your feet. I'll do it this way. Your feet are about 3 inches from each edge of the mat. Crow pose. Not crow pose, crane. What am I trying to say? The stork pose. So you take your arms behind your back, so there's behind your legs. You can use, you hold the opposite wrists and push the seat up. Try to push your knees against the arms, and lift your seat. That's if your flexibility is limited. If you can, the seat's about the height of the knees. Lace your arms from outside inside. Push against the inside of the shins. Tuck your chin in. Lift your seat. See if you can cup your hands around the ears. Grab whatever you can. The head, the hair. You can even palm your way back and interlace your fingers behind the head eventually. Lift your seat all the way up. You have to move your hands lower than the knees. Stork pose. Either way, try to get your belly between your thighs. Break the pose, come back. Good, so now come onto the belly. Rest. Your forehead on your hands, breathe in, breathe out. Cobra. If you're feeling spent, or you're limited in your back mobility, you can stay in Sphinx. Take hold of the edges of the mat, 2 or 3 inches close towards the edges of the mat, the corners of the mat, and pull on the mat as you're trying to stretch the mat. Anchor down through the hips, so lower the thighs and the feet. Lift your chest, push your shoulders down, push your forearms down. Keep pushing your chest forward away from the seat so you don't crunch your lower back. And then from here, perhaps you eventually lift your elbows up. If you're comfortable, bring your head back. Make your body, your spine look like a letter C. And gradually you can let go of the mat, perhaps. Bring your feet closer together. So remember, a snake has no feet, it has a tail. Walk your hands a little bit closer. Put your hands closer, bring your head back. Make sure you don't lose your neck, so this shouldn't be happening. Roll the shoulders down and back. They'll scope the neck out of the shoulders. Keep coming up higher and higher. Hands closer and closer. Look like that. Royal, beautiful, magnificent, fierce cobra. If you're more flexible, come onto your fingertips. Make sure your hands are close to your body. Right in front of the hips. You try to lift the whole top of the body up, from the legs up, top of the legs up. Separate your feet, bend your knees, bring your toes up so you can touch the head with your toes. More advanced, you might be able to even release one hand, grab onto one thigh, one shin and the other one. Then you bring your feet again to your head. Know your abilities, of course. Break the pose. If you have both the bind, bring one leg down, the other one, and then come back down. Rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now from here, make your way up onto your knees. The knees are apart. Bend the toes under to start. We'll all start with rabbit. Hands on the seat, push into the seat, pull down, lift the chest, allow the head to fall back. You can stay here if this is where you're at. If you can go further, bring your body back, lean back, you have to engage your thighs, your shoulders go behind your feet. Right hand to the right heel, left hand to your left heel. Lock the baby fingers together and then fall forward with your hips as though you're about to fall on your thighs. Pull on the heels. Bring the head all the way back, the chest all the way up. Now, those of you who want to go to camel, you can bring your shoulders back a little bit again over the feet, and just flatten out one foot at a time. You can even slide your hands further down on the soles of the feet. Keep your hips over your knees, and then be like that resilient camel who can last a long time in the desert. Straight arms, straight legs represented by your arms and your legs. Chest represents the hump of the camel. It's back. Hands back on the seat one at a time. Lean back first. Right hand on the right side of the seat, left hand on the left side of the seat. Hold your back, push into the seat, pull down, come back up. Bring your hands in front of your shoulder, your knees, just behind the shoulders. Stand the fingertips. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, through your nose towards the belly button. Round your back again, like an angry cat. Good. Now from here, you can repeat one of those. If you have flexibility, you can go to Kapotasana. Anchor down to your legs again. I like to have, you can even start on your back. This might be easier. Put your fingertips beside your head and front your head a little bit like you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. Push your fingertips and slide your head back. And you can grab hold the edge of the mat and just pull. Good. If you walk your hands closer and closer, you'll be able to get your chest up. And you just keep working this. Keep thrusting your hips forward. Eventually, you might be able to let go of the mat and practice maybe swaying up a little bit. This will help you eventually throw yourself up, coming up from out of the Dhanurasana back into standing. This is good practice. Imagine you have a rope attached to your hips. Okay, if you can do it, have more strength, you can come from standing on your knees to do it. Arms up, bring your hands together, fold your hands down, spread your fingers. Push your hands, elbows back beside your head, your hands in line with your elbows. Engage thighs, push into your shins. Let's see if you just come to the ground first. And then from here, tuck your chin in, and you can sort of slide your fingers towards the toes. You might be able to actually get your elbows down. Okay, or you take hold of the edge of the mat, or just in front of your head like you're doing an Urdhva Dhanurasana again. Go ahead. Be very flexible. You might be able to eventually get your hands on your feet and bring your head between your feet. You have to hold the pose a little bit longer, as Dharmaji says, in order to make progress. Break the pose, come back onto your back. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue, allow the body to sink down. Come back up to seated from wherever you are. All right. We're going to come onto one more pose, one more back bend of your choice. You can do whatever you want. You can do a cobra, you can do Dhanurasana bow pose, you can do Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can do scorpion if you like, so lots of different options. For Urdhva Dhanurasana, you know, or bridge pose if you need. So just demonstrate a few options. Your heels close to your seat. You can just stay here. Okay, lift your seat up. Tuck your arms underneath, bring your chest up. Even you can use a block underneath your seat if you're feeling tired. If you think you can from here, you can place your hands now beside your head, fingertips again pressing into the ground. Equal distance apart, make sure your thumb is not too far away from the rest of your fingers. Your palms are facing more towards you, fingers facing away. And then push into your fingertips, hold the breath. Slide back swiftly on the top of the head. The head's behind the hands now. Turn your hands around so the fingers are facing towards the heels, and again, turn slightly out so that the elbows don't wing out to the side. And then from here, you can keep hand on the ground or hold your breath and take your head up off the ground. And try to rock a little bit. Lift your heels, push your chest forward in front of your arms. Those advanced practitioners who are out there can do it from standing, can do it from a handstand if you like, just as Dharmaji shows. Okay? You do it from standing, start with your feet wide apart, or place yourself against a wall, walk down a wall. If you're trying to do it without a wall, you're getting to that point, turn your toes out, keep your feet wide for the time being, bend your knees so your knees come over the feet, and your legs are bent so you're closer to the ground already. Push your hands into your seat, and then push your chest up, slide your hands down the backs of the legs, maybe on the backs of the knees. Push into the backs of the knees, and take your head back, make sure you can see the ground, and then one hand at a time, bring your hand down on the ground and followed by the other. And bend your heel till your feet back, closer together. So just step by step again, just go in a way that's mindful, that doesn't bring you to a place of pain or anxiety or suffering or distress. Remember what you're transmitting. Break the pose, come back down where we were at. Sit up. And we're going to go into the twists now. Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can fold the left leg in, the left heel beside the right hip, the left leg on the outside of the left knee. If you can't get both sides of the seat down, just bring your left leg straight out. Move your right foot out further beyond the knee. I'll do it this way. Start, right hand behind the back, left arm up. Push the left arm against the outside of the right side. Push the lower back up and in. Make sure you're not leaning back. Keep your back straight. And over the right shoulder. Pull the knee beyond the left edge of the body. Push the knee into the elbow into the knee. Keep trying to turn further and further back towards the right. Chin over the shoulder eventually. Not just the eyes, turn the whole torso. Feel the torso, the whole spine. Twisting from the base, from the hips, all the way up. Come back, switch legs around. The right leg extends this time or folds underneath, the heel beside the left hip, right arm up, go to your left. You can hold on to the heel if you like with your right hand if you've got the full pose. Push the lower back up and inward. Prop yourself up with your left arm. Keep pulling the knee towards the right as you turn towards the left. Visualize the effects happening in your body. Imagine you see the spine rotating, spiraling upwards. Maybe the body will twist more as a result. Now break the pose. Lie down on your back for Shavasana. Make your way down softly. And then just allow yourself to surrender to complete relaxation, feet falling away from one another. The arms separate from the body at least 12 inches or so, the palms facing up and the gesture receiving. Relax everything so that you can be more receptive to receiving all the gifts of the practice. Imagine the best is taking place now. Inhale, imagine great beams of light and energy coming in through the skin. Exhale, send it all the way throughout your being. Feel recharged, feel rejuvenated. feel as though you're being filled with lights, all of the lights streaming in, right into the body, up the spine, right to the crown. Exhale, back down the spine, out to everywhere in your body. Feel yourself being illuminated from within. Full of light, full of wisdom, full of the best, the best. Inhale. Again, draw everything you need, everything that you want to cultivate to a higher extent. Imagine coming in through the pores of the skin, all the way through the limbs of the arms, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, all the way down again, through the spine, down through the spine to all areas of the body. Infuse yourself with that goodness. And then whatever you took in, again, imagine it equally going to the spiritual heart where God resides. So you can share with all beings, for God is equally present in all beings in all forms. Keep the intention of extending this beyond that in your day-to-day life and all your interactions. Try to keep seeing God in all beings. And this way you cultivate compassion towards all. You eventually cultivate an unconditional love towards all, not just your family and friends, to all beings everywhere. So with that intention firmly ingrained in your heart and mind, make your way back up to seated position. Move with reverence, with softness, with quietness. Close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within, send out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God, all is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. If you need more Shavasana, of course you can continue your Shavasana now, or you can sign in to dharmayogacenter.com. 11:30 Dharma Nidra offers, Sri Dharma Nidra offers Yoga Nidra. Very, very beneficial deep healing practice. Much love to you all. Thank you so much. See you soon.